Absolutely, not to be a naysayer, but we've all dealt with home affairs at one time or another, and it's clear that the staff at some points don't actually know what's expected of them, and at other points just have far too much to do. So is this an issue that needs to be fought from the ground up, really?
It's a very, very complex problem, because since Minister Gatsha Buthelezi held the Home Affairs portfolio in 1994 for 10 years, for 2 terms, what happened during the first 10 years was many of the old-style officials, the bureaucrats, took their leave and left newcomers with little intellectual capital. So Home Affairs was drastically depleted with the intellectual capital that had accumulated with an Afrikaans civil service over many years. It was an apartheid-style government department. Our immigration law kept races apart. It wasn't used initially to regulate the influx of foreigners. It was a traditional government department with a traditional racial slant, and that transformation had to take place very quickly. But unfortunately, the strategic structurers, the people that reformulated the department in its transformation, did not realize that South Africa, in its newfound democracy, had to be reconnected to the rest of the world. What did that mean? The Department of Home Affairs is a bridge which connects foreigners to South Africa. And that bridge, we mean borders, in order to allow foreigners to come and go and to reside here and to conduct business here and to work here and to live here and marry here. A government department needs to be enriched with intellectually capitalized individuals to understand the rules. There was never an academy, they never had proper training, and we left with the detritus, with the nonsense, with the inefficiencies, with the dysfunctionalities of an extremely badly trained bureaucracy. I think they've tried all kinds of programs. Hundreds of millions of rands have been spent on establishing an academy, trying to infuse a greater degree of education within the Department of Home Affairs. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, a young lady from Luxembourg came to see me, crying her heart out. She had received in Brussels a 6-month visitor permit, as they were then called, permits as an intern. She went to VFS, the outsourced front counter of the Department of Home Affairs, to apply for a prolongation, for an extension of the visitor visa to volunteer at an organization for a year or 2, as the law allows her to do. It was rejected, and it was rejected on the rejection notice. Your visitor permit was rejected. By the way, since the 26th of May, this was rejected in August. They were no longer called permits, they were called visas. They refer to the lack of a police clearance certificate from South Africa. The rule says you should have a police clearance from every country where you've resided for more than 12 months. She had only resided in South Africa then for 4 months, not for more than 12 months. Because, you know, in terms of Regulation 18, and you don't have a Department of Labor certificate in terms of Regulation 18. Regulation 18 has nothing to do with visitor visas. Regulation 18 regulates the general work visa regime. Now, so much time has passed. The department says so much training has taken place. But here you have an adjudicator, well known to us, Caroline Zita is her name, who refuses many applications for the wrong reasons. She's ruined a woman's life. She's ruined a woman's confidence in South Africa, a woman who's highly educated, who wants to volunteer at a South African charitable organization for reasons which have nothing to do with the application before the adjudicator. There's a total lack of understanding by adjudicators, ruining people's lives, ruining the ability of South Africa to be enriched by foreigners trying desperately to bring their experience, to bring their skills and their goodwill into this country. We saw it yesterday in a very, very glaring way, and we see this every day. So if this is a reflection on the level of skills development within the human resource component of the Department of Home Affairs, and these adjudicators are left to deal with the applications of CEOs, of multinational corporations, of mothers of South African children, spouses of South Africans, scientists, researchers, university professors, and everybody else, it's a very, very sad reflection, so down the line, of how poorly skilled the Department of Home Affairs adjudicators are. And that's a very dangerous sign at this stage.